Hey YouTube!
Hear ye, the hour of my yearly video is upon us. Gather all ye souls to the town square.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's actually been about 2 years since my last video. Yeah, remember when I was supposed to have a regular upload schedule? I've been trying to tell myself that I've been busy, so it's fine. I was feeling the itch after not recording and editing something for so long, so why not come back with a SAWCon video? I was going back and forth between what to build, and I thought it would be best to stick with something simple that fits this year's theme. We're just gonna do a nice, simple arcade with a bar on the top floor. I'm branching out to a more modern style with this, but I like the idea of building in more of a city landscape compared to the hundreds of houses that I'd never play in for this game because the live play is trash and repetitive. Will this build turn out to be good, or at the very least passable? Only time will tell. Speaking of trash, you'll have to forgive the stuttering in this recording. I realized that after I'd already filmed myself building that the only way to make this even a little bit watchable was to speed it up really quickly. And even then you'll see some random jumps from where the video just freezes up again, and it's fine. Yeah, see, there it is. Anyway, modernist style is supposed to be a movement in style that was prominent in the 20th century between the earlier Art Deco and the later postmodern movements. They had an emphasis on using innovative technologies of construction, like using glass, steel, and concrete, and the principles of functionalism and an embrace of minimalism, a rejection of the ornament. So that emphasis on minimalism means there's nowhere to hide my mistakes. You could say that I did eventually land on square, rectangle for the layout. I started with a middle square, then duplicated 2 longer rectangles on either side to make it look somewhat more symmetrical, and then just added some more blocky pieces from there. You know what they say, all rectangles are squares anyway. Or is it that all squares are rectangles? I don't remember. The only thing that's coming to me from high school geometry is rise over run, and I think that's about line slope or something. I don't know if I'm going to be DMCA'd with this music. I don't know, The Sims 2 got canned like 10 years ago or something where EA doesn't even sell it anymore. I feel like they can't get this video for copyright strike, but they'll probably try. It's at this point in the build that I realized that it looked really bland for an arcade. I wanted to embrace a fun neon color as an accent, and luckily I found this column from City Living that really became the inspiration for the rest of the build. So a lot of fun purple gradients with black and white interspersed. That pack is also one of the few packs in the game that has a lot of brightly colored swatches, so purple was the first pick. And it's done. That took way longer than what I'm willing to admit. Alright, so downstairs there's going to be a prize counter / entryway thing here in the middle. Then on either side we're going to have the arcade sections. Then once we go upstairs we'll have the bar part in the middle with a dance floor, then an outside rooftop lounge, and bathrooms. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. So here's the thing. I thought the arcade idea would be simple enough. We're starting with the interior decorating for the walls and floors, and I settled on doing a galaxy-themed arcade. I feel like I had to with this carpet that I found. It's got little aliens and spaceships in it. Also, this build uses custom content because despite some of the packs having neon purple, apparently none of the other packs do. I'll have links to all the CC that I used in the video description. The carpet in particular is from
The Maniac,
and the purple wall swatches are from
Moniame72
on the Sims resource. The lack of purple everything makes me think of just some quality of life updates that EA could make for the game, but just haven't. Yeah, this prize counter is a perfect example. A lot of the modern building tool updates for this game have come just ahead of pack releases. Like the platform tool you see here came just in time for the Snowy Escape expansion to be released. The problem with this is when you have a platform, the grid will jump down after you try to place something at a specific level just above the ground. You have to be so precise with it to the point where you have to adjust the angle that you're looking at the shelf from. You can tell it's having a hard time. Like all of this just barely, it just works. Finished with the prize counter. It took a while, but I feel like this counter has to be perfect. You have to have this like nostalgia beacon enticing kids to the arcade like moths to a flame. And now we're working on the entry. I fully didn't finish my thought from earlier. I thought the arcade would be simple, but it was actually pretty challenging due to a lot of important items and swatches being missing from what I actually wanted to accomplish. Like I was saying, it's not a secret that there are things EA can do to make this game better. But one of the quality of life updates I wish EA would have implemented is something that was available in The Sims 3. A color wheel would solve so many problems for builders. There are so many great furniture pieces in this game that are unusable because the color swatches don't match pieces in similar styles. A lot of mid-century modern furniture comes in this brassy orange wood tone that nobody likes and uses, and even just a color slider would fix that issue. I know that's not going to happen this late in the game, so for the purposes of this video, I feel like an arcade pack would be kind of a layup. For those who don't know, The Sims 4 has basically different tiers of DLC that you can buy, and in 2021 they unveiled their first series of kits, which are $5 add-ons that have either exclusively building content or exclusively Create a Sims content for people who just want to play that side of the game. This is versus the $10 for stuff packs, the $20 for game packs, and the $40 for expansion packs. I'm torn because I think that kits are not a terrible idea. It lets you drop a quick $5 for content you specifically want to use in the game. I think that an arcade kit would be perfect for this model, and it will let you build off what's already in the game without being too expensive. However, it's also really clear that the content used for the kits a lot of the time is just recycled pieces that didn't make it into more expensive packs that EA could have included but didn't because they wanted to make more money. Like, oh, here's a country kitchen set with vintagey cabinets and appliances that we released in March 2021. Don't worry about the cottage living expansion pack that cost $40 that we released 3 months later. I'm sure that wasn't just test furniture that was rejected for that pack. Or hey, here's a kit that has hand-me-down furniture and stuff that has to do with memories and reminiscing. We totally didn't need to put those in the growing together as a family expansion pack that we released literally a month earlier. Let me not make another 40-minute long video on why The Sims 4 can and should do better, because I need to learn to just fucking relax. For this side, I wanted to make a section that was for the typical, give us your money games that you see at every modern arcade. This is compared to the actual arcade machines and the private gaming space that I just built on the other side.
Arcade machine textures and color swatches created by Sepsid Creation and Simadream.
Okay, I'm done with that bit. So, we have like a karaoke machine and the free throw basketball game, and there's skee ball and whack-a-mole. I'm not saying that there isn't skill involved, but these are the games that kids can flock to and do relatively well at. It's like that one spider game where you just have to step on the buttons that light up and it plays the squish sound. 5-year-old me definitely said, bet, watch this at one of these machines, and that's why I have anxiety now. Also, the placement of this soccer game is probably a bad idea because I can totally see a kid giving it like way too much juice and sending it flying over to the karaoke area. But no one's gonna end up playing in this build anyway, so... And with that, we're gonna head upstairs, and for some reason, I decided to work on the bathroom part first. I never know what to do with bathrooms, so I just decided to carry the purple theme throughout here too. By the way, if you saw a jump cut there, no you didn't. I totally didn't have to cut out a lot of time where I had to figure out exactly where the bathroom sinks were going to go. Spoiler alert, I changed them later on too. I also included a little closet up here. I figured this can be the maintenance area where the owner stores the repair items for the arcade as well as any cleaning supplies and stuff. By the way, you might notice a little white box that pops up in the corner every now and again. In order to access the debug items menu that EA uses to build the world around the lots in the game, you can type in the cheat bb.showHiddenObjects and bb.showLiveEditObjects, and this gives you things like the spray bottle and the circuit board that went on the desk there. Some more purple walls, some bathroom stalls and finishing touches, and we're finally ready for the bar part of the barcade. Question of the day, how does everyone feel about barcades? I feel like it's a good idea in theory, but it isn't usually executed well in practice. It's either the bar part or the barcade part that inevitably becomes an afterthought. Like, either you wanted to open an arcade, but you realize that getting the liquor license is a pain in the ass, so you have a cooler of beer in the back that people can buy from. Or you wanted to open a bar, and you have 2 arcade machines that are always broken because you don't have someone on staff that just fixes the machines. Or worse, you become a Dave & Buster's. If I were to open a barcade and I had an open budget, I think having the areas separated out like this would be a good idea. There's easy access to both areas, and there's enough attention and detail to both spaces that neither of them really fall by the wayside. I really particularly like how this bar part came out too. The crazy like rainbow neon lights look really good with the purple as a unifying color. So when I eventually find $1 million to throw away, I'll be sure to keep this in mind as a design plan. What? I literally almost flipped my desk. My game froze and the screen went black and I hadn't saved my progress in like 2 hours. I thought I was gonna lose everything. There's this stupid EA glitch that's been happening across like everybody's games, but luckily I was able to get back in and save immediately after the screen unfroze. Speaking of quality of life improvements, can we make a game that actually fucking works? You know, instead of introducing a roadmap with 5 kids in a fiscal quarter, can we address the stalling issues that the game has? Or any of the other gameplay issues that make it run terribly? Or hey, not at all? I don't know, it's just a fucking thought. It's fine, we're outside now. I'm running out of things to say about this build in general. Like, these videos always end up being what I can only equate to a hastily completed book report. You know, I start super early with enough time to prepare, but I end up taking it way too seriously and give myself more work than necessary, and then I have to rush to get it done. But it is done, so let's go through the final tour. Thank God it's done. I'm happy with how the build turned out, but with how many tech issues I've had over the last like 2 weeks, I am glad that this is finally over. Anyway, if you want to check out some of the other Sims 4 builds that I've made, feel free to check out the rest of my channel or my EA creator ID by the same name. Also, this video was made for SAWCon 4 presented by the Fraud Crew. You can check them out at the link shown here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you all next time.